Welcome back everyone, Mudford here. We got an exciting project for you today. Tonight we're working on the Bronco a little bit. We're getting it ready for the Festival of Lights Parade in Gladwin. That's a spark plug in the exhaust. We've got a coil and a wire here that we're going to mount in the back of the Bronco. The wire is going to come down here. This box is going to mount between the seats. With just this button on it here. We got some connectors here. What we're building today is a flamethrower kit. The two questions I get the most about this flamethrower exhaust that I've installed is, first is why, and the second is how did you do that? So for the why part, our Bronco is in a lot of parades and shows, Bronco shows, a few car shows. The parade that we had that we really like the best is the Festival of Lights Parade. The street lights are shut out in town, all the lights are out. It's dark. The only light is from the lights on the floats and the cars and trucks and stuff in the parade. So last year we put Christmas lights on our Bronco and had it in. And this year I just wanted to step up and do something unique. So we added the flamethrower exhaust, and that was really cool because it's going to be so dark and you're going to have people lining the streets. And I figured it would shoot some pretty cool flames and really show up good. So that's what I decided to do. So that's the why. Now for the how part. I did not make the control box. I had a friend and coworker named John. Thank you, John, for making this for me. He knows his electronics. So he went ahead and did this. I gave him some input, told him what I needed it to do, and he came up with this. So I'll go ahead and show you how I wired it up, and I'll give you just a basic what I know about it of how it does what it does. This coil is your coil for your engine that runs your vehicle. So all the control box does for that is when you push that button, it's going to shut off the coil. That'll be a momentary button, so spring loaded. So whenever you push the button, it's going to basically cut the spark to your engine. Now the reason why you want to do that is in order to light flames out your exhaust, you're going to need fuel back at the back of your exhaust. So the way to get it there is to let it go through your engine and not fire in your engine and go out the exhaust pipes, and then we're going to ignite it at the end of the exhaust pipes with some other spark plugs. So this is going to cut your engine temporarily, and then you can let off of it to keep it from stalling, but you can give yourself extra fuel and pump the gas while you're pushing that to give it extra fuel out the exhaust pipe. So the other part is there's a switch here, and when this switch is on, it's going to be feeding power to the positive. I'll just show you this one side. It's the same on the other side. When the switch is flipped on, it's going to be feeding power to your positive side of your coil, and also there is a relay in here that's going to trip and cycle. What it does is it collapses it every time it makes a contact to ground. So that's all we're going to do is ground it, ground it, ground it, ground it, ground it, like that. So there is a relay a solid state in there that's going to be doing that, and a chip that is going to tell it how fast to ground. So now when I throw the switch, it'll keep it'll keep power onto the coil, and it'll just keep tripping it. And that's going to make the spark plug fire that is in the exhaust. And that will ignite the fuel that's coming out, the extra fuel from killing your front ignition temporarily. And that's how the flamethrower works. So one of the first things I did was I had to modify the end of my exhaust. I have my exhaust coming out behind the rear tires to the side. So for this project, I decided I would have them go straight out the back, because you're going to have kids and people standing beside you, and you don't want to be blowing flames into the crowd. That's probably not the best idea, but just to be safe, we're going to put them out the back like that one, and then we'll just have the person or vehicle behind us just stay back in here. But I'm going to show you where I'm mounting the box here. I'm mounting it right next to my seat. I want it to be within easy reach here. That way I can hit the button easy, and if I do have to put a switch on, I'll have my switch right here. I have an extra switch that was from my fuel pump, which I can use. So if I need to, I can move this up onto the box here, just to make the rear ignition stay on that much longer. But we'll see how it runs, how it works after we get it wired up. I'm just going to mount it right here. I'm just going to open the box up and put some screws down into the metal here and into the fiberglass and get a good solid mount. And then I'm going to start running my wires, which will come from underneath and hook on right here at these 5 locations. What we need for wires is this post here needs to be coming from the ignition switch of the Bronco. This is a ground, so this will be, when the key's on, this will be on. And then this is going to go to the positive of the back coils. This is going to go to the negative side of the back coils, and this is going to go to the normal ignition on the Bronco. It's mounted pretty solid now. I put one screw here in the front. I have it sticking off the edge just a little bit to keep it close to the seat here, and then I have 2 screws going into the bar that holds the seat on. So we're going to just close it up now. And we're locked down. This is just a waterproof box, like for canoeing or camping, that was just the right size to fit the components that I had, and then small enough that it'll sit here between the seats. The coil's mounted now. Not as good as I'd like to. They do move a little bit here. It is going down now. I drilled a hole through the fiberglass. Goes to my spark plug, which I'm not real proud of this, but I could not get a good fit. I ended up having to do a tack weld. Just a quick tack. Hopefully it did not damage the spark plug. If I have more, I'll cut the tack off, try another one. All done now. What I need to do now is get the box up there wired in to the ignition and to these 2 coils. Another hole through the floor for the smaller wires, and get them all wired up. The new coils all wired in the back now. Here's the wires going up to the control box, and they just run along the frame, and they come up through the floor right there and go. So the only thing I need to hook up right now is my wire that's going up to my Hei Distributor, the positive wire. I'm going to run it back to here, and then I'm going to run a wire from here to the Hei Distributor, and then we'll be all done and ready to check it out. Here we are up at the Hei Distributor. I'm going to unplug this wire. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to run it back to the box, and then my one from the box I'm going to run up to here and put this connector like this on it and plug it in.
and then we should be all set to give it a test.
I soldered the wire here and shrink wrapped it. That's going back to the control box. This is coming back from the control box to the ignition, so the ignition can be interrupted when we want to shoot flames. Here's how we ended up finishing the box up. This switch here needs to be turned on, and it lights up. And this controls the rear ignition coils. So if you look in you can see it sparking right there. You can see that one spark. So that switch controls the rear coils, and you can see that it's working intermittently. It's flickering by that light flickering. This just shows that you have power to it. So you turn this switch on, rev the engine up to maybe about 3,000 RPMs, hit the kill switch button then, and then while you're doing that, you pump the gas really hard, and that'll make extra fuel get to the back, and you'll hear it pop. And then before it stalls, you have to let off the button and let your engine catch up again and let it run for a bit. Push the button again. Let me shut that off. Push the button again and then let off, and you can keep making it pop and shoot flames out the back by doing that. Now that we have it all installed, I'll go ahead and back it out in the yard. It's dark out now, and show you what it looks like at night.